Morning. It's Sunday morning here. Gonna get back on the El Tigre project. Got carburetors to look at. Did a little suspension work this week. Gonna get into preparing for the engine install. Got a lot of stuff on here in the bench. Let's take a look at what we got. All right, here we go. We got a 500 free air clutch. Got the 440 fan clutch. The fan clutch is set up for E-start, 440 fanner clutch. I'm gonna run the free air secondary, the original one. I did say something about the Y pipes being the same in the last video. There looks to be a slight difference there. But yeah, the collector part where it goes up to the pipe here is the same. But yeah, there's the engine's gonna go in. Kind of just basically drug all this stuff up from the basement. Had everything bagged off and labeled for a while. Just need to get out here and start putting the puzzle together. Here's the original free air carburetors from the 500. I cleaned them up a while ago. I was thinking about using them on the bike, but so I was gonna run the single carb, the original from the fanner, and it's not that great. And the more I'm looking at these are pretty good. I'm gonna have to play some jetting. I'm gonna take a look. I think I need new gaskets. Gonna verify what we got for needle and seat, and then get a kit on order for those. I can't find the boots for the airbox. They seem to be unobtainium, so I can't come up with something to connect that. Probably just gonna run, do a box delete and run filters, pods. These are smoked. These go up to the engine where the carbs hook up onto, and they're dry rotted, so I gotta get those on order. Let's see, here's the box of parts. The carbs, I had a couple carbs the guy sent me on Marketplace. Came with the engine, and they're not in the greatest of shape. So like I said, we're gonna run these the original 500 ones. They cleaned up pretty good. I almost was hesitant to put them on a sled. They cleaned up so good. I was thinking using them for like a chopper project. But they're the original ones to the machine, so what the heck, right? We use those. This video, pretty much I'll show what I did on suspension there. Not a lot, just a shock and a idler wheel replacement. Took a lot longer than I planned on, but that's how it goes sometimes. But yeah, get that in here, and then start on the engine this week. Get this thing together. Get some parts on order. Doing the carb boots, carb kit. Get her dropped in there. Oh yeah, vacuumed out the belly pan. But obviously was didn't take long to do that, but it was definitely needed. Yeah, all the snow's melted here again, so hopefully I'll have this done, and then we'll start getting some snow again. That'd be good. Kind of warmed up here, and I was thinking, man, I shouldn't put the bikes away so early, but it is just December. All right, hope you enjoy the video. Feel free to comment, like, and subscribe. Thanks. Okay, pop the needle and seat out just to verify. Looking at what was in the parts book for this. It's 1.5, and I verified on the top there. Probably not gonna be able to see it. Is 1.5 also. I use this magnifying glass flashlight thing because it's like reading jets, man. I can't see them anymore without a magnifying glass. Pretty small numbers. Yeah, I noticed this has got a rubber tip. I'm pretty sure the ones on eBay, they were just steel, no rubber tip. I'd kind of like to get a kit that's got the rubber tip. So I may be looking elsewhere or see what else they got. Maybe somebody else has got something on there, but the one I put on my watch list is doesn't have that rubber tip like that, which kind of like those. Yeah, like I said, these carbs cleaned up pretty good. They almost, you know, like I said, I was kind of looking at putting them on a chopper project possibly, but that hasn't happened. All I got is an engine sitting here in the corner. So, yeah. They came from the sled. They should probably go back on the sled. They are McCuney's. Where is it written at? Usually they got their stamping on them. Right there's a stamping. 32. Yeah. But yeah, they used these on street bikes back in the 70s and snowmobiles. Pretty good carburetors. Yeah, going to get on eBay and see what I can find here. And hopefully I come across a better kit. Some new needle and seats coming. Yeah, we'll go from there. All right, back on the Cat here. Got this shock that came in. Made in Taiwan, as I expected. You know, it wouldn't come with bushings. These bushings here were worn out. Also, these are, but there is no replacement anywhere for those. Just these. I got these on order off eBay, and then or I already received them. Yep. 78-13. Yeah, I got some new bolts. I ended up cutting the one bolt. I was going to try using metric ones, possibly to take up some, you know, for this bushing being worn, and the metric one doesn't fit in the frame, and I don't want to drill the frame on the skid. So I tried a piece of, you know, clear fuel line to eat up the wear where it's worn, and a new bolt, but it's too big, so I don't know what this piece of plastic is, a straw of some sort. I don't think I'm going to find a bushing to fit in there. I'd have to probably drill it bigger, and there's not a whole lot of material on these. So yeah, going to sleeve it with a piece of plastic. Figure that should tighten it up good enough for what we're going to do with it. Just going to get ran around the neighborhood. It might see a couple of vintage trips, maybe 1 or 2 a year, but nothing, no major miles will be getting put on this thing. Basically a neighborhood beater. Yeah, got the belly pan all vacuumed out. All the acorns out of there, vacuumed up some of the mouse turds and whatever that were all over in this area. I did cut a piece of that carpet off and brake cleanered the sticky stuff. It wiped right off, so I'm thinking I'm going to, well, it wiped right off, but it took a little bit of scraping, but I think I'm going to pull the rest of that carpet out and clean it out and just lay a piece of rubber in there. Yeah, thing's kind of beat. It's going to need some zip ties, stitch job, safety wire, you know, that type of thing. But yeah, going to get this shock put in. And then the idler, yeah, idler wheel showed up. So we've got a new idler wheel, and a single outlet fuel pump showed up. Still not sure on the carburetor situation yet. I'm going to run a single or the duals that run a 500 fan or engine that was in it. We'll see. For now, we'll get this shock put in. All right, using that plastic's not working out. It's getting smushed up in there. Just it's not rigid enough. Yeah, this is the annoying stuff, you know, stupid bushing. But yeah, I went through this stuff. What I got in my mess. Nothing's really gonna work in that pile. I'm gonna try this metric bolt. Like I said, it didn't want to fit through the frame on the skid there. I'm going to try a little persuasion, see what happens. But it definitely is tight in that bushing compared to the standard bolt. Well, it actually went right in. Didn't need channel locks or anything. I don't know what the issue was earlier I had going on, but yeah, let's take a look here. Not much play at all. Throw a nut on there. And then I'll get the rear one in, get it all tightened up. All right, shock's in. Here's got some new bolts I never used, and some old bushings that are still using for something, I guess. Do all those in that pot there. There's my garbage, and there's the tools. Took way more tools than I thought it would. Figured this was a 10-minute job at the most, but you know how that goes. But it is tight, like no movement. I started with the bottom mount, ended up having to do the top one first and then the bottom. It's just how it went. Still haven't gotten that idler wheel out. Guessing I'm about to loosen the track. Guess I'm gonna try prying it out, but I feel like I'll be loosening the track up. Hopefully not dropping the skid out. I don't want to do that, but if I have to drop the skid, I will. That's about it for today. Gotta head to work. All right, it's next morning. I already broke the track adjusters loose real quick. They are these long bolts right here. I sprayed them with some penetrating oil a few days ago, but yeah, they broke loose right away. I'm gonna back those off, kind of keep the jam nuts where they are. You measure track tension kind of midway. Forgot the exact pressure you put on it, but usually, I think a lot of manuals say 1.5 inches of sag with, you know, so much pressure. Yeah, we'll get those loosened up. Push the rear axle, you know, forward there, and then give it a few whacks, get it going forward, and might give me enough play to slide that out. If not, I'm gonna pull that bolt on this side out and the other side, and I'm gonna drop the bottom of the skid out, the rear section, and try that if this attempt doesn't work here with just loosening it. All right, stand by. Now you can see I got track loosened up. Quite a bit of free hang on it. Some mountain sleds like this obviously isn't a mountain sled, but some with the anti-ratchet drivers, they run quite a bit of sag, but this is a old trail sled. But as you can see, should be able to pull on it, then come right out. I'm gonna pry on a little bit, or a little persuasion with the drift and a hammer. Should come off. All right, the wheel's out. It's ugly. Put a little heat to it. Trying to get the bearing off the shaft. It's aluminum shaft, steel bearing. There's a new wheel, obviously. But yeah, got the bearing stuck on the shaft, basically. Sprayed it, some stuff. Where's my light? Maybe it's down here. Yeah, it's down here, still on. Yeah, there's the bearing still on the shaft there. Yeah, that wheel's stubborn. Not so much the wheel, more the less the bearing. Stubborn there. Yeah, got some heat. I'm gonna put some heat into it again. Spray it, whack it. Hopefully it comes off here shortly. Oh, there we are. Been whacking and beating on this bearing. It's stuck on there. I was thinking maybe I'd do a bolt in there. I was thinking about maybe hitting with the air hammer, driving the shaft the other way. But it could also, that aluminum shaft could be stuck in that steel bracket. So I'm thinking do a relief cut with the old cutoff wheel and see if that helps free it up. Just do a relief cut on that bearing if I fit the grinder up in here decently. All right, got a little relief cut in there. I'm gonna head over to the other side and give it a few whacks. Probably should pop right off. Yep, came right off once I did that relief cut. I'm gonna take some red Scotch-Brite and clean that shaft up a little bit. Some WD and red Scotch-Brite, you know. A little grease on it. Yeah, throw that wheel up in there. It's these little things that slow you down like a stubborn bearing. Okay, I tried sticking the wheel on. It only go halfway on, and then it like stopped. I even threw a big C-clamp on there. It was not going. So now I'm going to loosen a bolt on the other wheel to remove it. See how that goes. I thought I could just pull it out, but the wheel runs into this bracket right here. So yeah, this is kind of turning into the shock situation, taking a lot longer than I thought it would. But I'm gonna try to get it out and get the this shaft started on the other wheel. It pulled some of the threads when I tried to pull it down using the threads of the shaft. They're just aluminum, and it pulled some out, so I kind of want to not thrash on this side much more. I'm gonna see what happens on the other side. Well, got the other wheel out. That escalated quickly. Well, again, using a tool like that, bound to happen. Yep, that plastic got a little ticked up there. The snap ring, a little tweak, but I got the other snap ring from the other wheel. I think one will still hold in there. Yeah, I'm gonna pop this bearing off the shaft. See how this bearing feels after that happens. Actually feels decent. All right, popped it back in with the old Tanya Harding there. Yeah, she plastic went right in. You know, pretty smooth. Snap the snap ring in. See how it goes. All right, snap rings in. I had to spin it around a few times. Actually, the thick side, the back side, wasn't sitting in there. But yeah, spun it around a few times. Actually, picked this up. This set probably. Oh man. Stand by. All right, here we go. Yeah, I picked up this set a couple years back. I was doing wheel bearings on a Saturn. Pretty good set. It's like the higher end of Harbor Freight. It's pretty decent. I'd say it's right up there with Mac or Snap-on. My Blue Point ones were junk, so I replaced it with this. All right, gonna take a look at that shaft. Yep, there's some vice grip marks on there from me holding it to get that bolt out. I didn't want to use the threads on there any more than I had to. So I want to clean that up, and that's the bad side with the threads that got pulled. So sand that off real quick and slide that new wheel on that. See how it slides on here on the bench, kind of like a dry run. All right, got the shaft cleaned up. I put a little bit of a taper on each end, the file, and just some sandpaper there. But, yeah, gonna get it lubed up and get these wheels started and get them on. All right, I got the wheels in. Unfortunately, I found that in the track, and that's that lower bushing for that shock. So somehow that fell out when I was putting the bolt in. If I remember right, I had to do the bottom, then the upper. I don't know. I'll pull that bottom bolt out, see how it goes. I have to undo all this stuff and start over. But yeah, that happens sometimes. Great. All right, round two. Got the bushing in there. It fell out. Got the wheels on. Yeah, usually, I can't remember my other skids. Usually that bolt there would clear a wheel. That kind of turned into a whole goat rope here. I got the tensioners tightened up. Track, like I said, you know, I think it's 1.5 inches, 1 3/4 or something. This might even be an inch or 1.25 inches. You know, to tension it, I think it's pushed down 10, 20 pounds. I can't remember exactly. I'll have to look in the book, but that's how it was. That's where it was sitting. That's decent. Don't remember the exact numbers for that stuff, but I call that good for now. So I'll get the engine in there and running around, see how it tracks, and go from there. But yeah, that's all we got for today. Gotta get cleaned up. Gotta head to work.